All right, thank you for joining me and giving me the opportunity to address everyone at the same time. I wanted to start by reiterating some of the key points I made several weeks ago when I announced the reorganization of the police department. And I think most importantly, I carried out the reorganization of the city's police department pursuant to the authority granted to the city manager by Section 4.04 of the city charter and 32.71 of the city's code of ordinances. I believe that the reorganization was necessary, long overdue, and reallocated resources from unnecessary management positions and less mission-critical functions of the police department to where they are really needed: officers on patrol and detectives solving crimes. Again, I regret that this reorganization required several positions to be eliminated. There is no good way to lay off people from your organization. And here's a really important point, and one that I hope to drive home with our citizens and also the press that are here, the press members that are here. That's true, that there's no good way to lay off people from your organization. That's true whether you're laying off police managers or engineering managers. And why this is so important is because it seems that so much focus has been on the police department when it should be on the overall city, on the overall reorganization of the entire city administration. The reorganization of the police department is just one part of a larger process, the process of allocating resources to help this city team provide the best, most responsive municipal services to our citizens at the best value. As to the lawsuit that was filed today, I have not read it yet. Consequently, I can't comment on the lawsuit itself. However, I do want to be transparent. I do want to communicate with the press and the people. Accordingly, I'd like to offer some thoughts. One, when you have a strong case, you meet your opponent in the courtroom. When you have a weak case, you attempt to try your case in the court of public opinion. Along these lines, I expect the plaintiffs and/or their attorneys to continue to make all types of allegations, to say the sky is falling, and to attempt to muddy the waters, a la their claim regarding Mr. Robinson being the only one with FBI clearance, which, by the way, is just flat out inaccurate. In the end, when the dust clears, the dust settles, I am confident that the community and anyone deciding the case will know, as I know, that though it was a tough decision, it was a proper decision and done in accordance with all applicable law, especially the charter. If they want to go to court, I hope to meet them there as quickly as possible. If they want to go, let's go. It was not an easy thing, but it was the right thing, done the right way. And that is my continuing promise to the City Council and this community, that as long as I have the privilege to serve as its city manager, I will not take the easy way out. I will not shrink from my responsibility because of challenges. Instead, I will embrace them. I will do the right thing for the citizens of Port St. Lucie. I will fight for what's right. I'll be happy to take any questions that I can. I will not respond to hearsay or to documents that I have not yet reviewed.
This lawsuit alleges that you violated the Florida Constitution, the city's charter, and broke other laws and terminated these employees. What do you say?
I haven't read the lawsuit yet. I can't comment on something that I haven't read yet. So I haven't read the arguments, but I just set it out there that we're quite confident that everything was done correctly, pursuant to all applicable laws.
Can we have you speak directly on their allegations of this security clearance with the FBI and Homeland Security? They allege that one of their high-ranking officers was terminated and that you had nobody to take that place, and it's a position that needs training for 6 to 9 months for a replacement. What do you say about that? I say it's flat out inaccurate. That's what I was saying when I said a la the claim. Do you have someone in place?
Yes, I do, and I have a memo that I'll be happy to provide to you, and if I don't have it in my little folder here, I will make sure you have it before you leave. Actually, here it is. And it's from Acting Lieutenant Mike Beath to Assistant Chief John Baldick and Assistant Chief William Vega, and it sets forth the facts. And I can't get into it right now, but I am confident that we're going to line up those arguments that the plaintiffs put out there, and we're going to knock them down. And this is just the first example. It's just flat out wrong. So I'll be happy to give you a copy of this memo, and you can be the first judge.
Does the memo state who the other officer
It does. It lays it all out there.
Okay, can you tell us?
Yes, it's Acting Lieutenant Mike Beef, and he's been part of the process for a while. So, and I don't really want to focus on this issue because this is a red herring. This is an issue where they're trying to muddy the waters. My decisions should not be on trial. They're making a case based on whether or not it was a violation of the charter. This issue of the clearance has nothing to do with the charter. But again, I don't want to get into the specific details of the case. There'll be a time for that, and the time will hopefully come sooner rather than later.
Did you see this coming, this lawsuit?
I think we could pull some of my quotes before, and I've been on record as saying that don't be surprised by a suit, and just because you sue doesn't mean you're right. You can sue for just about anything these days. And I did expect it. I'm not surprised, but that doesn't mean that I'm not disappointed. We've had a lot of people laid off over the last 3 years, and not everyone is sued. And so I'm not surprised at all. But at the same time, you still have to go through all this wasted effort and time and emotion. And I think in the end, they're not going to receive any satisfaction out of it, and it's just going to be additional time and additional turmoil for everyone involved. So it's still sad. And I think that through things like this, you see why in society people aren't doing as much. People don't want to go out there and make tough decisions because there's this process associated with it of being sued, of answering questions, of having to have press conference, of being exposed to bloggers and people on discussion boards. But that's what a leader has to do. And that's what I'm referring to when I say I'm not going to shrink from my responsibility. At the end of the day, before I can go to sleep at night, I have to be able to answer the question, did the decision best serve the citizens of Port St. Lucie? If I can answer yes to that, then it doesn't really matter how tough the issue is. That's the right thing, doing what's best for the citizens. And even though this decision was tough, as were all the decisions associated with the reorganization to date, impacting people's lives, it's not easy, but it was necessary to best serve the citizens. You have to do it. You have to make tough decisions if you're going to be a leader.
What is next for the city? What actions do you guys take now? And also for the police department?
Well, the police department is moving forward. I have to say that I haven't seen this much excitement and enthusiasm. I mean, it's tempered by the fact that they lost some people they were close to, but I haven't seen this much enthusiasm in the police department in my 10 years here. I think it's an opportunity to move forward, embrace the future, and continue to serve. And really buying into that team Port St. Lucie right there, making the world a better place, starting with Port St. Lucie. The amount of togetherness has really been invigorating. And as far as in response to this lawsuit, I mean, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to read it. And we'll coordinate with the city attorney's office. And hopefully we'll get this through the system as quickly as possible. I think as everyone in this room knows, it can take a while to get through a court case. But I hate that we're having to go through the process, but I have no fear about going through the process. If they want to fight, then let's fight. Let's get to it. Let's get it decided ASAP, as soon as possible.